The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Ron here at Ablesys. Be glad to help you, and we'll take a look at the charts. Key with Able Trend is that all the clues are on the chart. We just have to interpret what the software's algorithms are telling us. Remember, we're combining 3 time frames into one chart. And 3 time frames in one chart, that's pretty powerful. So we just want to interpret what the software's algorithms and doing all these calculations is telling us. In this particular case, this is a daily, weekly chart of Amazon. I showed this chart last week. Last week. So I just wanted to follow up on it because a new sell signal came onto the chart. Right there. There's a red bar. It's been on a weekly sell signal, an Able Trend sell signal on the weekly chart for 2 months on Amazon. 2 months. See these red arrows? They come in about every 5 price bars because it comes in once a week. And there's 5 trading days in a week. This is the daily, which are the colors. Blue, of course, means it's going to go higher. Blue is a buy, and red is a sell. The key are the dots. The dots give us the short-term direction. Again, this is for a swing or a longer-term trade. This is Amazon Daily Weekly. I actually use weekly monthlies, personally, for my own money. And I like that a lot for ETFs. That's my thing. Most everyone uses Able Trend for both stocks and E-mini futures day trading. Extremely accurate for that and popular for that. So last week I was saying how there was a new sell signal came in on this day when we did the webinar, and I do these webinars every Tuesday and Thursday at this exact time, which is 6 Eastern, it's 3 Pacific, and they're all recorded on YouTube the next day. I've been doing this for 15 years. Just have to watch the last couple of weeks if you're new to Able Trend. And I always show a stock chart and the mini NASDAQ. This way there's no cheating, no cherry picking. If it's a winning day or a losing day, I show that chart. That's the fair way to do it. And the whole key is reading the clues that are on this chart. Because the software is doing all these calculations, multiple time frames in one chart, multiple algorithms. I mean, no human brain could come close to competing with it, and that's for sure, which is why it's so popular for 25 years. Got over 25,000 people bought it during their 1-month trial. I mean, it was that obvious compared to what they would normally be using. That's what I tell everyone who's on a trial, is just compare it to what you normally would have been using, and obviously whatever works best is the one you want to stick with. If your system working better than Able Trend signals, more profitable, well, obviously you don't want to buy it. I wouldn't either. But if Able Trend's better and it's going to be 98% of the time, well, then it is worth having it. It's costing you money not to have it. But that's for you to decide. I'm just showing you how to use it. And right here is where we had the sell signal last week. Here's the red bar. Here's the weekly, as I said, for the last couple of months. And the new red dot came in. This is important, this little dot. See, blue, 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 red. That's a trend change. You get a big dot in the middle of the bar when it's a trend change. That doesn't mean that's the day you're going to sell it. Or, for example, you wouldn't buy it here because you don't have no blue arrow. Got to have double agreement. And there's obviously red and blue. That's a no trade zone. The software's not only going to tell you when to buy, when to sell, where to put your stop, it's going to tell you when not to trade. That's just as important. These no trade zones are terrific. Today was an extremely choppy day in the middle of the day for day trading. We had a lot of no trade zones that kept us out of trouble. We also had losing trades during the chop too, but we had half as many as everybody else. So losing less is just as important, or it's just as good as winning. So the signal came in last week at 33.20. We're at 32.20. $100 winner so far. Obviously, this is going to be for an option trader. It's a $3,200. Well, it was a $3,300 stock last week when we shorted it or bought puts. You're up 100 points right now. That's pretty good. Got a put option on this one last week. You're up a lot of money. So good stuff right here. Works the same for stocks, for futures, Forex, day trading, long-term trading, swing, whatever you like to do. The software doesn't care. Just depends on whatever you like. You don't have to fit Abletrend's style. You do have to follow Abletrend's rules, because otherwise, why would you want to know how to use it and get the most out of it? Because we all do it. I want to make the most money possible. But you don't have, it's not like, oh, this only works on one market. No, it works on every market in the world. Every market. It just depends on whatever you like to trade. So let's jump in and take a look at the E-minis today. Great first hour, great last hour. Two huge winners, which is a good thing, because in the middle of the day it was choppy as heck. Now, I'm not a big fan of trading during the dead zone, as you probably, anybody who comes to the webinars or watched or listened to the recordings on YouTube probably heard me say 100 times. I'm just not, your choice. It's optional. I don't say don't do it. I just say, do whatever you think. In my opinion, I'm not a big fan during 12:30 to 1:30 Eastern. So I'm Eastern. So 12:30 to 1:30 Eastern, wherever you are, you adjust that to your time zone. The market's usually kind of flat, sideways, choppy during that time. Yes, every once in a while, it was 2 weeks ago, there's actually a couple of really big moves during that time. You can't have, it's not going to be perfect every time. You can't have it both ways. There's no, trading is extremely difficult business. I tell it like it is. I'm a straight shooter. I'm not here to fool anyone or paint any unrealistic expectations. I would hate for somebody to do that to me. But with the software giving us all these clues, it paints a nice, clear picture of what's going on. As I just showed you in that Amazon chart, let's take a look at the mini NASDAQ. And I'll show you what a nice, clear picture the software is telling us, what it's doing for us. Okay? Right in here is obviously a no trade zone. As I said, when you have red and blue vertically on the chart at the same time, no trade. Leave it alone. The software is saying it's too risky. Anybody else who doesn't have Abletrend, let them play high risk at that time. We're not interested in high risk. We go to casino or bet on games for that. I'm in Jersey, so we can bet on games. You got a perfect triple confirmation buy signal right there. 1 minute dot, 2 minute arrow, small arrow, 3 minute big arrow. All three are telling us at the same time, this is a great time. The odds are very much in our favor to buy it. It's a great trade, according to Abletrend. So you don't want to miss these. You don't want to miss any signals. It's about 10 average, on average day, 10 to 12 a day. You just don't know when those big ones are going to come in. And there's only one or two big, sometimes three big ones a day. If you miss those, forget it. You can't win, because the market doesn't give a chance. It doesn't give many chances for you, me, and everybody else to win. Most of the day, it's kind of flat, sideways, a little up and down, choppy. That's what most of the days are. So we've got to take advantage of these moves. Well, how do you know? You got to take all the trades. You don't know. Nobody in the world does. What I like to do to help give me a little bit of a push is also look at ES. I like to look at the ES chart. I also look at RTY, which, by the way, RTY, which is the mini Russell, it's been unbelievable. I've been saying this for 3 months now. It's actually been more profitable than the mini NASDAQ, and it's slower moving, so it's a little easier to trade. If you're kind of new to trading, that's what I would suggest, the mini Russell. It's just been on fire for months. That's unusual. Usually, a couple of weeks, they kind of switch off. One is better 1 week, one is better not. But the mini Russell has been better for months now. So that's why I've been kind of touting it the last few months. But mini NASDAQ's fine too. That's our favorite. Overall, that's our favorite. But you got a triple confirmation buy signal right there. But we actually got stopped out right here, because the stop goes at the second lower row of blue dots below the price. Started to go up, came back down. And the biggest problem people have, and I totally understand it, because it happens to me and to everyone else, is the emotional part. That's why trading is so difficult, because most people can't do it emotionally. You've got to trade like you're just a robot, like you have no emotion. You're doing exactly what the software says. Exactly what it says. No trying to beat it. No trying to skip a trade here or there. No, either you take them all or don't take any of them. Just forget it. It's not for you. And that's okay if it's not. It's not for everybody. But to be successful at it and consistent, there's the word I like, consistent, not a lucky week or a lucky month or even lucky, for 20-something years. And that's an unbelievable track record. I'll put that up against any other trader or any other system in the world. They won't even be close. How much able trend, how much more profitable it will be. But you got to do what it says. And that's the hardest part, which again, I totally understand. That's why it's not for everybody, especially day trading. So we got stopped out, a losing trade right there, but that's a perfect sweet spot. Triple confirmation. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. Why? Because a sweet spot is when the price comes back down, hits a blue support dot, which tends to block the price from going any further lower than that dot. And then the next blue bar right there, and you got to wait for the bar to close. So the open of the next bar after this one closes, which is right there, is where we're going to go long. And it just took off like a rocket. I mean, just an unbelievably profitable trade. So Able Trend Traders, boy, had a lot of fun this morning. Now, ideally, you want to keep your stop second lower level under the price, second lower row of blue dots. But I like to use, because you don't know it's going to go like this. you only know that after the fact. And by the way, this is the exact signals you see at that time of the day. Because once the 1 minute bar closes, and we're not taking the trade until that happens, it will never, ever change again. You can look at it an hour later or 20 years later. That's exactly what you saw at that time. You're looking at it live. This is what you see. When I see this, I can't hit the button fast enough. That's a textbook perfect sweet spot right there. How did it do? Well, I'm just speeding it up, but if we were looking at it live, it would just go a little slower. But for time's sake, which I'm already supposedly supposed to finish in 1 minute, but hardly ever do because I want to be as helpful as I can to everyone. I mean, this thing just took off like a rocket. Now, it's okay. I like to use the 2 green bar stop loss. 2 green bar stop means when you get 2 greens in a row, just put a stop a couple points below. But you got to be at least, if you're not going to make 10 points on that trade, then you don't use it. In fact, that was probably about 10 points right there. No, it never hit it. 2 greens, never hit it. 2 greens, never hit it. Never hit it. This one would have been hit because the 2 greens are right there. So that would have been hit, and that was a nice little trade. Out at 615, long at 75. That's a 40-point winner. Just a one-lot trader. That's $800. Now, if you're trading, if you feel some of these trades are too, like the dots are too far away, especially at the beginning of the day, it's going to happen. You can't help it. So much happens during 1 minute. The bars are always going to be longer, so the risk is always going to be higher. You've got to increase your risk the first half hour of the day. There's a volume explosion at 9:30 Eastern when the market opens. So, you want to be successful. You want to make money. It's exactly how it's done with Able Trend. But if that's too risky for you, then trade the micros. Remember, 10 micros is the same as 1 standard lot. Again, 10 micros is the same as 1 standard lot, because 1 standard lot is $20 a point. A micro is $2 a point, that's all. Trade 5 micros. That's the way it's only half your risk. Trade 3 micros. It's only a third of your risk. It's up to you. Everybody's different risk tolerance. Yes, at 1040 right here, that's what I said, Ed, we would be out of the trade. The stop out is the second lower level of dots under the price. Never, ever the first. That's where you want to be buying it, not selling it, not getting out. So just tick that. Actually, we got even earlier because here's the 2 greens, as I pointed out. There's the double green. Stop goes 2 points below. So we're actually out over here right around 620. We got long at 575. Made 45 points. So let's just call it 40. Nobody's going to get it exactly perfect. There's slippage, there's commissions. And, again, you just want to get most of these. We'll pick up most of it. That's an $800 winner. That's a good, nice little trade right there. But just a one-lot trader. I got clients tell me they trade 10 and 20 lots with Able Trend every day. I know that's great that they do, but I keep it conservative. Just one contract, one lot trader. Made $800 for every 1 lot that you trade. Okay, where you get back in? Well, there's the sweet spot that I've been talking about all these years and I showed you on the chart right before this. It's the blue dot, the next blue bar, right there. Open of the next bar, because once that bar closes, it will never, ever change again. It's your sweet spot. We got a long right here. We can take this sweet spot because, and you say, well, this is the second one. Oh, that's okay. As long as the sweet spots keep winning, you can take them. That's optional. It's up to you. If the first sweet spot or any one of them lose, you're done with sweet spots. That's all. So we got a long right here at 39. There's two greens after we were at least 10 points in profit. Never hit it, kept going higher. Two greens, never hit it, kept going higher. Two greens that would be stopped at right here. So we're out at 92. We got in at 39. Let's call it 40 to make it actually a little worse. So let's go 49 to 90. We'll take a couple of points off, even though it made a little more. Again, you're not going to nail it perfect. Market's moving fast, so I'm real fair about that. So 40 to 90 is another 50 points. That's another $1,000 for every one normal standard contract that you trade. So that's pretty good, 800 and 1,000, But we lost 10 points on the trade before that. Got to be fair about it, which is 200. So we're plus 1,600 after 2 hours of trading. For a one-lot trade. If you trade micros, it'd be a little less, which is fine. I mean, if it's too much risk, you trade the micros. So great start to the day, plus 1,600 after 2 hours. No trade zone here, and that's a losing trade right there. That's a triple confirmation trade. Turned around, went up, lost 10 points. There's the next trade right there, right around 12 noon Eastern. There's the double green, never hit it, kept going higher. And then, of course, it would have hit it right there. And that was okay. It was about 15 points, so a little more than that. Let's even call it 10. Keep it simple. So we pick up the 200 we lost on the first trade of the day. Right. Now it got real choppy. But it's the dead zone. Again, I don't like trading during that time. But, keep in mind, you may miss out on some trades because every once in a while, there's a great trade between at lunchtime, 12:30 to 1:30 on Wall Street, Eastern time. It's up to you. Totally optional. Whatever you like, that's fine. But I'm going to say what the software said because the software doesn't care what time it is. The software is going to, it's up to me or you if we want to skip the normal, usual sideways action during lunchtime. But again, keep repeating. Some days it's going to be a killer and it's going to be great. You got to say, well, I missed it. And it's up to you. If you don't trade, you can say, you know what, I'm going to take all the trades, dead zone or not. Great, do that. It'll work out fine. Next trade is right here. Stop's just going to go a little under those blue dots because there's no lower row. So let's just put the stop a couple points under. Never hit it. Shot up. There's your red bar. Picked up 7 or 8 points. Let's just call it 5. Kind of get back what we lost on in the trade before that. That's a valid trade right there. No good. Out there. That's a valid trade right there. And that was no good also. And we're out there about 10, 12 points each. No, actually 15 and then 10 we lost on those two trades. Still up, well over 1,200 or 1,000 for the day, let's just say. Again, I like to keep it, a little less than probably what the software said. You're not going to nail it perfect. Impossible. Nobody can. I can't. Nobody can. Triple confirmation right there. Let's not even take it here because I like when the bar closes under the blue dot. Under the blue arrow, which is support, stopping it from going lower. Look, hit the blue arrows 6 to 10 times here. Couldn't break up below it, went up. Hit it 4 times here. Couldn't break below it. And by the way, we started those arrows a half an hour before that even happened. Well, that's some really helpful, valuable information that Able Trend told us a half an hour before it even happened. Good stuff. Again, all the clues are on the chart. And the software paints a very clear picture. You and I, we just have to act on it. That part, the software can't help us with. The mental part of it is usually can definitely be the hardest part for some people. So instead of shorting it up there, well, I'm going to short it here. Again, be extra fair about this. So we're going to short it here because the bar closed below support of the arrows, which that's a very low risk trade to take. So I'm going to go short here at 725. Here's the double greens, and you're going to get knocked out at exactly 10 points. So it's another 200, and we were up a bunch of money going into this trade, as explained. You got a sweet spot right there, and then we're going to go short again. Up to the red dot, bounces off of it, next red bar. As soon as that bar finishes or closes, you open up that bar right after that, regardless of the color. We're going to short it right there. So I'm going to go short at 7.12. Well, let's make it 7.10. And then this one was a home run right into the close. Boy, some great trades in the last half. I love trading. I mean, you see some great trends, last hour of the day. No, not going to use double green because we weren't even 10 points in profit. So second higher row of red dots right there. Just keep moving your stop lower, lower, lower. Again, don't put it on the dot above the price. You put it on the second level above that. That's where you put your stop. And we take it into the 4 o'clock New York close. We're out here at 665. We shorted it at 710. That's another 45 points. Again, let's just make it 40. It's another 800 on top of, wow, 1,200 or so going into it. Let's just say about whatever it was a fantastic day for a one contractor, one standard normal lot contract trade. If you trade half of that, maybe you're trading 5 micros, which is half of one normal lot. Great, you made half of that. You'd had a terrific day. Just been banging out some crazy good days. But I keep saying they'll definitely be losing trades and they'll definitely be losing days. Nowhere near as many winning days, but count on it. Sometimes even 2 in a row. That really tests your patience. It really tests your attitude or your emotions. It's hard to get on the horse a third time after you got knocked down two times. Just using an example. So good stuff. Paints a nice clear picture. The clues are on the chart. And if you like a little help, day trading. A good friend of mine is opened up a trading room about a month ago using Abletrend, strictly Abletrend, nothing else but Abletrend. And I've helped him for many years, so he knows the best way to use it. And it's Serenity, just like it sounds, Serenity Trading Group. And just tell them Ron sent you, or you came from Ablesys. And just mention my name. That would help also. You'll get a free 1 week to just check it out and see what you think. Stop in the room while they're trading Abletrend live and calling out the trades, and it's up to you to take it from there as far as making the trades. So, see what you think. I'm here to help anytime. I'll do a live, real-time, one-on-one trading session with you for anybody who has Abletrend. Obviously, you have to have the software. You could be on a trial. That's preferably, I'll do it for, anybody that's on a trial right now, on a 30-day trial, shoot me an email, call, whatever you like. I'm always at my desk. Always answer everything quickly. Glad to help. I'll do a real-time during the day when the market's live. We'll do a real-time 15-minute one-on-one session. I can teach you more in 15 minutes than you can do on your own and during your one 30-day trial. Everybody gets one. So feel free to reach out. I'd be glad to help. I hope that this was helpful for you. Do anything I can for you. Stay safe, everyone, and have a good night.